Hi, my name is Simone, and I'm a Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension. And today, let's see, let me straighten myself up a little. Okay, today, so it's time for my little vlog check-in for this week. Okay, so I missed last week. Okay, and um, I didn't really slack off like it may have seemed for not doing it. But, I kind of slacked off. I kind of didn't organize when I was supposed to be recording videos on time. And I had a really rough emotional week. And my son is coming up to the camera right now. I might not be able to finish this. Come here. Good morning, Mommy. Good morning. Okay. Why don't you just rest here and just let me talk? Okay. All right. So last week, last Monday, Monday, not this Monday just passed, but Monday last week, it was the full moon, or was it Sunday night? And the full moon, I felt like brought up so much emotional things I've been holding on, so much emotional baggage. I had some major emotional purging this week. I realized some really deep things inside of me with abandonment issues, with the feminine energy. Um, I I just I spent a lot of time last week like really like purging, really emotional in tears, but not in a bad way. I really felt like I just came to the realization of some things about myself and what I need to work on, and what type of things that need to be healed within me. And let me think. What was I gonna say? Um, my son that came in here, I lost my train of thought. Okay, let me just stick to what I'm updating. So I'm doing better as far as like meditation and stuff. I am getting better at that, and I started to see. This is what I wanted to say with the full moon. So I was going through it, right before this full moon, and I was so upset, like down, and I was gonna do a full moon ritual, and I was just like, I'm not doing that, like I was in a bad way, and I sat here, and a decision came before my mind. I saw two timelines, and I saw one timeline where I could stay in my little attitude and just sit here and skip my full moon ritual and setting my intentions. And I saw that timeline and the attitude progressing and lasting longer, maybe causing problems. And then I saw the timeline where my spirit guide shows me, and says to me, look at how bad you feel. Even though you feel horrible bad, this timeline appears if I go outside and I do this full moon ritual, that I would change my circumstances. So I had two timelines. I had a choice to ignore the time moon, stay in my attitude, or even though I felt like crap, go do this full moon ritual and give it the best I got to help me heal and stuff. So I sat there and I just was crying, purging because I had realized some deep emotional trauma stuff. And I was just like, I can't change. I can't get better. How, I kept thinking like, I feel like sometimes I feel like I can't get past some of this stuff. And, and hopefully I'll go into detail more about it. It's just an update video. And so some of the things when we start to realize ourselves, it scares us. And we think that no, I can't let that go. I have to hold on to this pain. And so I decided to get a list and start writing down my intentions list that I was going to burn in a fire outside in my full moon in my backyard. So I started writing this intention list, and I put what I wanted to see, how I wanted to change, how I wanted to ascend, how I have a real problem with being disciplined, and a real problem with a lot of things. And so I went outside and I did that full moon. And I started to think about, you know, how I used to be when I first started this YouTube channel. I had like this lightness, this energy, this positivity, and everything was going smooth. And when problems came up, I always sought to my higher consciousness to work them out. And now, like, I don't go to my higher consciousness the way I used to. I don't have the connection. I am in my mind more and in my ego more. And so while I was outside, I had a memory of when I first had my awakening, how I had a garden in the backyard. And in the backyard of my garden, I would go out, I would meditate in the garden, I would be around nature, I would meditate with the trees, I would do shaman's journeys, and I would do full moon rituals. And I wouldn't just do rituals, I would talk to the moon. And I was talking to the garden, I was talking to the trees like we had a relationship. And everything was going better in my life. So I was outside in this full moon, and I decided to talk to the full moon like I used to back in the day. And it showed me that, look how much happier and better life was when you was talking to nature and talking to the moon. And you haven't done this in a long time. And I started talking to the moon, and I started crying to the moon and telling the moon, like, look, I'm so thankful. I I was like, every time I've tried to manifest something with the full moon, I've gotten it. And I've been spending, like, this past year, I haven't been doing rituals where I haven't talked to the moon like that in a long time. And I just started to see, like, a path opened up to me, like, this is how you can promote some change in your life. You got to go back to the basics, like, to the things that helped my life be more peaceful. And so during that week, I felt better, like just that moon ritual alone. But I wasn't out of the woods yet completely, and I'm still not completely, but I'm closer, much closer. And so I got inspired towards the end of the week. I was like, it was Valentine's Day coming up, and Dorian was wanted to get me some roses, some flowers, but he worked so late, and I wanted him to be home for dinner. And I was like, don't worry about that. And I really thought about it. I was just like, and I had a talk with him. I said, you know what, I'm not the way I used to be about these matriarch holidays. I said, it's just not worth you stressing out after work to go find a gift for me. And I said, it doesn't matter. And I said, I don't want a rose that's going to die, a flower that's going to die. I said, give me a seed and we'll plant it together. And we thought about that, and we decided, you know what? I said, and I was inspired. I said, I want to plant garden. I want to have my own heirloom, organic, non-GMO garden. So we got these seeds, and I started to see, this is it. This is what I need to do. This is the shift I need to make. Number one, it'll give me discipline to plant a garden, which I really need right now, because I'll have to be up and I'll have to be taking care of it. Then I'll be back in nature again. I'll be talking to nature. I'll be meditating with nature. I'll be drawing in that positive energy from the plants and trees. So it was on my mind to get out there, get out there and get this plant done. So we got seeds, we got rose bushes, and, we started planting it. But, it wasn't that easy. It was still a journey to get the seed in the pot. When Sunday came, so we bought the stuff on Saturday. Sunday came and I wanted to do it. We only have a few hours of, like, really sunny daylight. It starts getting cold at 2. It starts getting cool at 2 and we don't want to be outside. And I got so frustrated because I slacked off, procrastinated, lazy, had to go to the store. By the time I got back, it was too late. And I was like, no, I got to get these seeds in. I was like, this is my chance to shift. This is my chance to change that. And I sat outside, and it was getting late, and it was cold, and I put on a jacket and stuff, and I'm up here trying to get some seeds in. I was like, I have to do this today because I know myself. I'm going to put it off the next week. And I have a real problem with procrastination and laziness, and I really want to get out of. And so I got out there and I'm putting the seeds in. Now I come home. I had started the soils. I come home and random cats knocked over the soil. So I was sitting up there trying to put everything back together and get the seeds in. And guess what this little one does right here? He knocks over the plants and the seeds all over. And I broke down crying. Like I literally was on my chair like I just was crying like crazy. And so he goes and gets his dad, and Dorian's like, Simone, come here. And I run into the house crying. I'm like, it's nothing. Every time I try, I'm failing. I'm not good at this. I'm not getting out of this, this vibration. And I ran to the bed and I cried for 30 minutes. And he was just like, how many seeds did you lose? And I was just like, it wasn't about the seeds. And I realized it was about so much more than those seeds. It was about, purging a lot of these old emotional traumas and the things that got me to this point where I lack so much discipline, that I'm so lazy, that I'm procrastinating. And I need to shift out of that vibration. So after I cried for those 30 minutes, I wiped my tears. I went outside. It was dark now. And I was like, no, I'm going to get out there in the dark. And I'm going to get some seeds in this pot. And I'm going to do this. So I went outside in the dark. I put a heater outside, a light outside. And I planted one little thing about, I think I planted about 8 or 16 seedlings, little seeds. And then I was just like, I'm just going to just leave it at that. And I got to get it in there. And I really wanted to do it, with Dorian. And so I come back in the house and, he decides to stay home the next day. And so on Monday, we decided to, okay, let's plant the rest of the seeds. And everything went smooth. We went outside. We joined a gym. That was another thing. Physical discipline is something that's important in spirituality as well. And so we joined a gym, and and that's another downfall. We joined, but the kids club was closed because they have a daycare there, so we couldn't go. But when he took off on Monday, and we were debating, he was going to work on Monday. We were debating, like they were offering him like 3 times the amount of his pay to work on Monday. Come on, Storm, stop! You're gonna knock over the camera. Okay. All right. And so we were like debating, like, oh, we could really use that money. And then I thought about, like, I was subconsciously kind of mad because we were expecting from that. I didn't realize I was angry, but I was subconsciously sad that he was going in when I really wanted to do things with him, like plant the garden. So we decided to trust the universe, and he decided not to take the day and go into work. And we got everything done that we wanted. We got worked out at the gym, got him in the kids club. We came home and we planted every seed, and it was so grounding to touch the soil. It was so beautiful. A total shift in my vibration had occurred just getting the seeds out. We cleaned up the backyard, which had like inches full of leaves and stuff. And I really felt like this was kind of like decluttering a part of me, a part of my mind that has been cluttered with my, falling off of my vibration. And a whole difference had took place. And I think about that full moon ritual. I think about that choice I had. I could stay here sad and stay in my little attitude, or I can go to the full moon sad, tell the full moon how I feel, and set my intentions to manifest. And guess what? My path got brighter. And so, moral to the story, that's how my week has been. But moral to the story, as I want to encourage you when you're going through something rough, and you're hitting, a lot of people are asking me about emotional stuff, how I'm getting through the emotional stuff. And I want to get to that because it's a big deal right now. It's not just me. This is part of the shift. This is part of what's going on now. People are going through needing emotional healing, going through emotional traumas. Things is coming up. And good God, did I just lose what I was going to say? I really felt, oh, the path. Okay. So when you're going through something, like, think about a path. Think about two paths that can open up to you. Think about what happens if you stay like this. What happens if you do something that will inspire you? You know, for me, it was a full moon ritual. But think about, like, okay, I'm sitting here upset and crying. Maybe I can write how I feel, or I could write a poem, or I could paint an art piece, or do something creative that you enjoy, or talk to someone, you know, express it out, purge it out. Like that crying I did for 30 minutes. Do you know how much better I felt? I released a lot of energy in those tears. And so sometimes we have to allow ourselves to cry. Sometimes we have to allow, there's a shadow inside of us that holds all of that pain. And I call my shadow, I have a little girl version of my shadow that took a lot of trauma when she was young, that I didn't accept, I didn't respond to. And so sometimes I have to let that little girl out, and I have to let her cry it out. I have to let her express what she's feeling. And that's kind of like what shadow work is this stuff that we've been holding on to has been hiding in the shadow for too long. And the shadow needs to be able to express itself. And when it's not expressing itself, it's manifesting chaos in your life. It's manifesting you upset, having an attitude or upset over something you shouldn't be upset of, and manifesting as you projecting onto someone something that's really the problem with you. And so, anyways, we all got a lot of healing to do. And I really feel like this journey is the best thing that ever happened to me. Honey, can you just wait a minute? I'll help you with the train tracks when we're on, okay? I'm almost done. All right, so my son is needing me right now. I reserve the right to come back and talk about the shadow and emotional healing. And I just want to let you guys know, I'm apologize for missing next week, because I was stressing so much about the video. Every day I was thinking about it. And then at the end, around Friday or Saturday, I just said, you know what? I'm having a real emotional week. How about I just take this week off? So I really consciously took next week off. It wasn't me being lazy and procrastinating. Maybe a couple of days it was. But then when I realized I was stressing over it, I don't need to stress over making a video. You know, I need to be focused and have this come naturally. So thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.